So I wanted to take today to connect some of the dots in my story in hopes that it will provide freedom for some of you. When I think about my story, a lot of it feels so random, with things like miscarriages, working full-time, then staying home, always having a business on the side, and really God using a side hustle to eventually draw me back to himself. So I want to share today about the lessons I learned from always having a side hustle, the people that I chose to surround myself with, and how these leveled up leaders helped me with vision while creating kingdom impact. There is so much I want to share with you, so let's jump in. Hey mama, welcome to Intimacy After Infidelity. Do you find yourself Googling, can a marriage survive infidelity? Or what's the first step to divorce? Do you wake up full of hope, only to end the day with more shame when there's another stupid argument again? Hey, I'm KristinaJoy, forgiven daughter of Jesus. I too felt the shame of infidelity and wished someone had a roadmap for how to get out of the mess so I could experience freedom. I kept telling myself I just needed to try harder to end the affair and fix my marriage, until I found I needed Jesus to heal some deep wounds in my heart. Through prayer, lots of research, and developing new healthy habits, I was able to find healing to shed my shame once and for all. Now I'm excited to share everything I've learned with you. So find your safe space and pop in that earbud. Let's rebuild your life and marriage better than it's ever been. I want to take a second and say hello to my international sisters listening in from Brazil. I see this podcast on your charts, and I am so grateful that I can bless you all in some kind of way. What a dream come true to have kingdom impact around the world, and I'm so grateful for you all joining me on this journey. And, having a kingdom impact is really what I want to talk about today. Leveling up your life and your friends and leaving a legacy for the future. And guys, I'm just going to tell you right up front that I'm going to be sharing the part of my story where I finally pivoted and caught the vision and leveled up. But it was really because of a few specific coaches and mentors I had in my life. One of which was my friend Monique and her business partner Becky. And I have to tell you right now, they are hosting a free training next week, November 6th, where they will be talking to network marketers about upcoming trends and how to make a kingdom impact with their business. Their heart is for women to use kingdom strategies to build business. And they both have a heart of gold for network marketers because of the possibilities it provides, especially for women and either working or stay-at-home moms. So I will have their free event linked in my show notes, but I wanted to put that up front to say that if my story today impacts you in any kind of way, please get in the room with these ladies. They are women that you want to be around, and I'm testimony of that. Okay, so here's where they crossed paths with me. I heard a quote way back when I was a kid that has stuck with me my entire life and has sometimes haunted me. My older brother's friend had told me, "You will be the same person a year from now that you are today, except for the books that you read and the people you hang around." And I say that quote haunted me because I couldn't justify it during the affair. I hoped that by having more positive influences, I would tip the scale and outweigh the negative influences that I was letting into my life. But that just wasn't true. You can't have just a little bit of dirt in a cup of water and hope that the water stays clean enough to drink. It just doesn't work like that. But I learned the importance of choosing which people to hang around, choosing which people you choose to call friend. And I learned early on to put myself in rooms with people that had what I wanted, people that had walked the path before me and people that had fruit on their tree that I wanted, and people that were willing to teach me how to do that also. My husband and I had both done some direct sales early in our marriage, but when kids came, it got a little difficult for us to keep doing that together. A few years and a few kids later, I reached out to a friend who I knew was connected with some quality vitamins and supplements. And because I wasn't feeling good after my third baby, I still remember reaching out to her, sending a message that said, "Hey, can I buy some vitamins? And I just want to be a customer." And I said that on purpose. However, when I saw how this company was different, I could run with the business myself and I could get paid really to take vitamins and get healthy, I knew I wanted in. And at this time in my story, I was stay-at-home mom, and so I knew I was so confident it was something that I could do. Well, fast forward, and I began hearing about the benefits of having coaches who were outside of my company. They were able to coach me as an individual person, and they could give me business strategy and not be tied up with the company and the direct impact that I would have on their paycheck. So it was around this time that I was also desperately trying to cut contact in the affair. And I remember I intentionally made the choice to cut off contact and then fill that void with all things business and personal growth. Give me all of the podcasts, all of the books, all the team meetings, all the strategies. Give me anything so that I could distract myself from the pain of this affair. So in walked Monique into my life, and she continued to use language like have a vision for your business and a vision for yourself and your family. And she was always talking about getting in rooms with leveled up leaders and people who were going to leave a legacy. She was always talking about creating an impact for the kingdom of heaven. And I knew this was somebody I wanted to be around at all costs. So when I heard that she and Becky were hosting this retreat, there wasn't even a question in my mind about whether or not I should go. I knew I needed to get in person with her because she would challenge me and spur me on. And if you've heard my story, this was also the retreat that radically changed the direction of my life. So lo and behold, I went on this retreat to gain business strategy. What should I be doing every day? How can I grow a successful business? What should I be doing if I want to make business my life? Well, instead, she was able to hear my heart and see through my hiding. She had enough wisdom to say, "Kristina, you need to get your house in order first." And she meant that both for me personally and literally my house and my family. She had enough wisdom to say, there are things at stake here that are much larger than a paycheck from a business. Now, yes, she understood that my family needed money right now, but she was willing to get in the trenches and help me get out of the affair and find healing. And she knew that that was infinitely more important than any business strategy. So we spent that weekend talking about healing and creating a vision for my future. And if I couldn't envision where I wanted to be, how was I supposed to start walking that direction? And we talked more about how each person is destined to create a kingdom impact in their corner of the world, whether in network marketing or a coaching business, or even a stay-at-home mom who just loves her family well, like God has asked her to do. And that was such a roadblock for me, knowing that I was going to enter a season of allowing business to be put off the table and asking if Jesus was really enough to satisfy me, even if I didn't build a 6-figure business. But I had these mentors who kept my priorities in line, asking if Jesus was enough and asking if Jesus would still be enough in a season where he asked me to lay down all these business ideas. So my point in all of this is, are you around people who are constantly keeping your priorities in line, challenging your soul? People who have enough wisdom to bring you to the throne of Jesus. And when your house is in order, then linking arms with you and giving you business strategy if you're in that field. Okay, so let's take a step back. What does this mean for you, even if you're not in a business? Okay, I think two things that it means for you. First is the question, do you have a vision for your life, for your marriage, for your family? Here's a really challenging question I would tell you to journal. If you knew you could do anything and not fail, what would you do? If having any kind of life was an option, what would you want that life to look like? Sit in that for a few minutes. Paint a really detailed picture. What kind of life do you want? God gives us desires for a reason, so tap into that. Okay, and the second way I think this impacts you is to ask yourself, do you get in rooms with leveled up leaders? People who encourage you, challenge you, motivate you, dream with you, laugh with you, and cry with you? And if not, I would love to explore that further with you and help you find that room and those people. Sister, I know that you have the potential to create massive kingdom impact in your corner of the world. But it begins with your own healing and your relationship with Jesus. And then it leads you into those next steps. But have fun with it and enjoy the journey, even if your healing comes through something totally unexpected, like a network marketing. So I just have to tell you again, if you are a network marketer who wants to know the upcoming trends along with how to make a kingdom impact with your business, there is a free training that I want to invite you to next week, November 6th. Monique and Becky are hosting this totally free masterclass all about using kingdom strategies to build your business. This is not something that you want to miss. We would love for you to join us. I will be there. I'm so excited to see some of you there as well. And feel free to share with any of your friends that you know that are also in business. So I'll have that link in the show notes, and I hope to see you there. Hey mama, I hope today's episode encouraged your heart. If you need to talk about this some more, would you send me a message at KristinaJoyCoaching.com? Also, please take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It thrills my heart to know this podcast is helping you heal your heart so you can shed the shame of your affair. I am cheering for you, and I can't wait to hear your story. I'll meet you back here on Tuesdays and Thursdays for another episode. As always, be clothed with strength and dignity and laugh without fear of the future.